What's up, everybody? It's your boy, student Dr. Malachi Wright, and I am back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing my first exam in dental school. That first exam happened today. Yes, it went down at 1 p.m. at the University of Maryland School of Dentistry. For those who do not know, I am a first-year dental student at the University of Maryland School of Dentistry. Today's exam was for a class called Cell and Molecular Biology. And our exam was close to 50 something questions, like 54, I think 52, something of that nature. We had about an hour and 30 minutes to complete the exam. And the exam was on a decent amount of content. I would say close to about 450, maybe 500 slides worth of material, and expanded a wide variety of topics. And honestly, the analogy of dental school being somewhat similar to like drinking water from a fire hose, I think that's still a little bit of a stretch, but it's definitely a little more challenging than my bachelor's degree training for my particular example. And I think that's, obviously normal because this is a doctoral program, so it is going to be somewhat of a step up and you are going to have to put in a little bit more work. But I want to talk to you all about the steps, the strategies, and everything that I did to prepare myself for this first exam, while also, still working 12 to 15 hours a week, being a commuter to school. So I drive about maybe 25 to 30 minutes to school, making time for the gym, a healthy relationship, and other aspects of my life. So here are a few tips that I have for you all. So to kind of break the ice a little bit, I want to be as transparent as possible on my YouTube channel. So the first exam, I received a score of a 90%. I'm not sure exactly in terms of how that ranks in my class, and honestly, I really don't care how it ranks. And I solely state that because I'm not looking to be in a competitive head-butting realm, especially in dental school, because we all fought so hard to get into these positions, and now we all just want to see each other succeed. But I was able to get 90% on this exam, and our school has something called ECC. So there are certain questions on the exam that you feel like were a little flawed. You can go request that question be submitted to ECC by our board representative, and they'll weigh whether or not that exam question is going to be included or not. So hopefully they throw out at least 2 questions, because some of the questions were a little tricky, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So like I stated before, our first exam was in cell and molecular biology. This is a topic where we talked about a lot of histology of cartilage, histology of bone. We talked a lot about RNA, and for those who are in my dental class, they know the RNA section on that exam was intense. Nevertheless, it's in the past, so we're going to move on. But I want to make sure that I provide you all with this relevant content for strategies and tips for how to study. So firstly, during undergrad, I mostly use Quizlet to study. So if it's not broken, then don't try to fix it. So I maintain the same type of perspective for this exam, the same type of strategy. So I created Quizlet cards the same day that I had a lecture, and typically it took me about maybe 45 minutes to make the Quizlet cards. And the cool thing is, if you like using the interface of Anki, you can upload all of your Quizlets to Anki if you have an add-on via Anki that allows you to transfer your Quizlets to Anki. So I was a teacher for a year, like I stated before, so I was able to get a discount on Quizlet Plus, and I could add my own pictures and stuff like that. And it was really convenient because I could upload all of my stuff to Quizlet, transfer it over to Anki if I wanted that space repetition. But if I just wanted brute memorization, I could just use my Anki cards and just flash through them that way. I mean my Quizlet cards, sorry, not Anki, my Quizlet cards, to flash through them that way. Nevertheless, for the push for the exam, I really wanted to push myself to see how little I could study to do well for this exam, if that makes sense. So I still studied a lot, obviously. I paced myself to only studying for about 4, maybe 5 hours at the most every day. That's Monday through Friday, and on the weekends, maybe 6 hours or 5 during the day. And I found that with my work schedule, obviously, I stack a lot of my work on the weekends, and I disperse at least an hour every day to work for the consulting company I work for. And while studying, I found that the most strategic strategy, or the strategy that worked for me here, was a strategy that employed reviewing the content the same day I learned it, but then also making sure that I studied stuff that I did not know. So if I was comfortable on the histogenesis of cartilage, if we're referring to intramembranous or endochondral bone formation or cartilage formation, whatever it is, bone formation, I believe. But if we're looking at those two processes and I know that that's something that I'm confident in, I will move on to something that I wasn't confident in, like signal transduction or RNA or something of that nature. And when I'm focusing more of my studying time on those concepts that I'm not familiar with or maybe a little bit difficult, I'll go to YouTube and look up YouTube videos to help me study for that particular content, or I'll study with a friend. And I think that studying with a group is really imperative for doing well on exams. Like everyone that I study with in my group got at least 87 or higher. I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but everyone that I studied with did really well on the exam. And I do believe it's because we were able to bounce ideas off of each other. If one person knew the answer to a particular question that we were asking and someone else didn't, we were able to explain the concepts, fill in those gaps, have conversations about the content, and really engage in what we were going to be tested on. And I think that really helps with learning the content, in addition to reviewing the content the day of and studying the flashcards that I made. So again, I do believe it's also crucial to time yourself when you're studying. I know a lot of people will study all night, pull all-nighters, be extremely tired and all this other stuff, but you want to make sure that you're managing your time well. And if you're studying content for 7 to 8 hours straight, how much of that are you really retaining? And personally, I'd rather get a 90 on exam and study maybe an hour or 2 hours at most for that subject every other day than to study for that subject 4 or 5 hours a day and get a 95. You know, that time is something that you can't get back, so you want to make sure that you're using it wisely. So of course, do what works best for you, but you won't know what works best for you until you try. And if something was working for you that's really well in undergrad, bring it along to you in dental school and try to make it work. If it takes too much time, try to pivot and do something else. But at the end of the day, I think two things that are extremely crucial are working with the people who are around you, studying in groups with other individuals, and then making sure that you manage your time well. And that may be timing yourself when you're studying to see how long you're actually studying, making sure that you take breaks. So I use something called the, I think it's Panopto, or no, not Panopto, Panamero, something of that nature, strategy, where I'll study for 50 minutes straight, and then I'll take a 5-minute or 10-minute break, and then I'll do about maybe 4 sets of that in a study session, and then that's a wrap. So these past 3 weeks, I've been getting 6 to 7 hours of sleep every single night, so I'm not fatigued in that regard. So I'm getting the amount of sleep that I need. Been going to the gym at least 4 days a week, so been able to consistently be in the gym and perform well so far on that first exam. We have another exam next week, and we have multiple quizzes, so we'll just keep this train rolling, making sure that I'm making deadlines for my job as well, and still commuting 25 minutes to school. So the time is definitely there. It's just how you manage it and how you use it. So I hope you all found this video helpful. I hope you all got some study tips for how I was able to obtain a 90% on my first exam in dental school. And I'm going to keep being transparent with all of you all on my channel. I want to make sure that you're seeing this journey, the up times and the down times. And one thing that I want to make sure that everyone understands is that sometimes things are not going to go your way. And if they don't go your way, it's okay. I saw a couple of people in my class who were really discouraged about the scores that they got when I believe they got really great scores. But for some of them, that was the first B they got in their lives, and they were extremely discouraged about it. But you got to understand, like, this is a doctoral program, and you can only learn from this point. And again, as long as you pass the exam, and at least in the doctoral program, if you pass the exam, it's great that you want to do better. But don't let that pressure on yourself be to your detriment. Because if you're already studying, pulling all-nighters, stressing about an exam, and you don't perform as well as you want to, that's going to add more stress, and things are just going to pick up even more from this third week. So that's all I have to say in this exam vlog. I'm going to be coming out with exam vlogs every time I take some really big or crucial exams throughout my journey. Obviously, this was a big one because it was the first one. I truly appreciate all the support. I'm so excited to announce that we were able to surpass 200 subscribers, which was one of my goals for the first year of me trying to cultivate this channel. I think my channel has been up for about maybe 4 or 5 months now, which is amazing that we're already at 200 subscribers. I really would love to see this channel get to at least 500 subscribers by the end of my D1 year. That would be awesome. But I'm really not too concerned about the amount of people who subscribe to my channel. I just really want to make sure that I'm helping out any individual who needs some great content, who needs some advice for dental school, whatever it may be, and we'll go from there. So thank you all so much for your time. Also, before you all leave, please be sure to check out Melted. It's a Black business brand by a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful CEO. She makes her own sugar scrubs, her own body butters, and I tell you this much, they're all fantastic. I use these products every single day. They help my skin. I've seen that my acne has definitely decreased, and my skin just feels overall smoother. If you're a guy who's looking for smooth skin, you don't want rough calluses on your hands or whatever it may be, or if you go to the gym and you lift a lot, please be sure to check out these products. They're really inexpensive and they're really great. I want to recommend something that I don't use on a daily basis, and I definitely use these. So please be sure to check them out. Link is in the description below. Please be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, comment under the video if you have any questions or concerns, and I'll see you all in the next one.